Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kai. I'm a spiritual guide and creative coach. Let's talk about it. I have my tea. I just ate my brekkie. Let's get into it. Okay, so there's a lot of things I've learned along my journey. I've been healing for a long time. I've been thriving for a long time. I've been thinking for a long time. So I've been analyzing my life inside and outside and upside and side and downside and which side. And you know what I've found out? All that matters is your life. And I'm not saying that you stop healing and stop doing the shadow work. What I'm saying is, like, life is shadow work. And I say this all the time to my clients. Life is going to show you the shadow work in real time. In real life, it's happening right now. So when it comes to money blocks, when it comes to relationship blocks, when it comes to family things, whatever it is, it's showing up in real time. And that's how you know what part of your shadow really needs to be loved on in this particular moment. Okay, where am I trying to get at? Basically, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm all over the place. That's just how my mind works. And this message will whittle down as I start to channel and as it starts to make sense. You have to know who you are. Okay, and what I mean by that is, like, you have to have a sense of confidence in yourself that shows people and shows yourself, forget what people think about you, but that shows yourself that you can walk away at any moment. You could go towards your dreams at any moment. You can start over whenever you want, because you have the confidence to know that whatever you start will end well. You have to know who you are so that you know who you're not. So that you know when you end up in situations that are not serving you, you know that. You don't have to second guess it. You don't have to be like, well, let me just stay a little longer. Let me just torture myself for a little longer and see. Like, not only do you have to know yourself, you have to love yourself enough to think about it like this. If you knew that anything was possible, sorry, it's loud outside. If you knew that anything was possible and you had a daughter or a son, whatever you are, and you were asking, or the son was, or the daughter was asking you advice, and you knew that anything was possible for that son or daughter, right? Anything, literally anything. And they're like, well, should I just stay at this job even though they're bullying me and even though it's messing with my self-worth and my confidence? Should I stay there and just keep the money and then just da-da-da-da-da? What would you tell them? What would you tell them? If you knew that anything was possible anyway, what would you tell them? And I'm not saying, this is not a video to tell you to quit your job, unless it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here on earth if we're not actually having faith in the things that we claim to have faith in? 333 on the timer. That's celebration. That's change. So, yeah, we need to celebrate the change. We need to celebrate the change. We need to celebrate the change, celebrate the change, celebrate the change, celebrate the change. Because guess what change means? Change means that you've now removed yourself from a situation that didn't serve you so that you can open up yourself to the possibility of the infinite reality that anything is possible. And I promise you, because it's happened to me so many times, the moment you remove yourself, you're going to start to see signs, and you're going to start to be aligned with a more aligned reality. It happens like clockwork. And when you start to manifest, and not just because you're, oh, I'm just going to manifest some whatever, while I sit here in my safe little home and have my safe little life that I continue to live. No, when you really start to trust and you start to be like, I'm just going to go over there and see what happens. And what happens is exactly what you needed to happen, because you have now removed yourself from anything that would hold you back from what's supposed to happen. The problem is you don't recognize that you're in a little reality that is like blocking you from understanding what reality actually exists outside of yourself. I think when we talk about the word reality, it sounds like reality has to be like based off of your own understanding. Reality is based off of a greater understanding. The reality is you could actually win the lottery today. That's the reality. The reality is you have spirit guides that you cannot see unless you can, and you cannot hear unless you can, and they're guiding you. That is the reality. That's the reality. So if you're supposed to win the lottery, they'll give you the lottery ticket numbers if you're supposed to. And if you're supposed to, you'll know you're supposed to because you'll for some reason feel guided to buy a lottery ticket today or tomorrow or whatever day. Because for some reason, I feel good today, let me just buy it. And you follow that intuitive gift, and then you look around and you're like, I've been seeing the number 55 all day. I'm just gonna play 55. And then you win. I think I've only played the lottery once, and it was with my friend. It was on St. Patrick's Day in Savannah, Georgia. And we just kept seeing the same number, and we were like, let's just play it. We played it and we won. We played it and we won. This is a true story. This is how life actually works. That's the actual reality, is the fact that you're always being guided, always. And the only thing stopping you from that guidance is you trusting it. And that's why it's important to know yourself. That's why it's important to have confidence in yourself and in the trust that you have in the universe, because if you don't have that trust and that confidence, you will be swindled out of your gifts, out of your blessings every single time. Because there's a lot of people and places and things places you can go where they don't want you to believe in that. There's a lot of ways you can be convinced out of taking the leap, convinced out of going to that place, talking to that person, having that idea and going after it. If you wanna not live to your fullest potential, there's a lot of opportunity out there for that. There's a lot. So that's not a problem, right? But to go out on faith for who you are and to advocate for yourself and to make yourself the priority in your life, there's only one person that could do that for you. There's only one person that could do that for you. Not me. Not anybody else that you're listening to on this little screen or in your life. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. So guess what? That means it requires confidence. It requires confidence. It requires confidence. It requires confidence. This moment in time right now requires for you to be confident. It requires for you to stand up for yourself the same way you stand up for other people. Remember how you stood up for other people who then stabbed you in the back? Remember how you stood up for people who didn't want to stand up for you? But you did it. You put all that effort in. Imagine if you put all that effort into yourself. Imagine if you advocated for yourself just as strongly. Just imagine. To be your own support system. Just imagine. Because if you're supported by your angels, by your guides, by Source, the Most High, who could be against you? And the only way people could be against you is if you didn't have the confidence to be for your own self. So step boldly. Step strongly. Have fun with it, babes. It's your world. Everybody else is just living in it. Okay? They're just living in it. They're just little, You could decide. People don't even have to exist. Literally. I said that to somebody the other day. I said, I know how to make people disappear. And that sounds really cynical and sinister, but I just know how to make people disappear. If you're not supporting me in the way that I need to be supported, then that means you're not feeding the mission. And you don't have to exist in my world. You don't have to. Does that make me psychotic? I don't know. I don't care. Because guess what? As soon as I get rid of something else automatically follows behind it that's way more aligned. Every time. Every time. So I just trust it at this point. I don't care. People, I'm not saying people are disposable. But what I am saying is everybody is just a reflection of you. And once you're done with a certain lesson, you can just move on. You don't have to keep, well, why did I do that? Just move on. Just learn a different lesson. Your soul is ready for something new. Stop recycling old patterns. Stop thinking about old, mistakes and why did you let that person hurt you? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Move on. It does matter. Like, as a spiritual life coach, I understand how much your subconscious programming matters. Like, I understand that. But what matters more is the way that you override the program. Override it. It doesn't matter if you're not going to override it. You can understand, oh, this is the way my parents treated me, and this is why I am this way, and none of that matters if you're not going to override it. If you keep recycling it and you keep thinking about it and well, this person treated me like this, and that's what makes me feel like this. Okay, so what's the next step? And if you need a spiritual life coach, I'm a spiritual life coach, and we can actually work on those next steps together. Because I know sometimes we do need help through that process. That's why I do what I do. I know everybody isn't as like, this is what I do, so I get it. Everybody doesn't just do this, right? Like, I see the brain as like a puzzle, and I'm like, how do I create a piece that completes this piece so I don't have to go in outside of myself to search for it all the time, right? Like, that's what we're doing, and that's what we can do together if you need a spiritual life coach or if you need a spiritual coach or guide at all. But you have to override it. You have to override it. You have to override it. You cannot just keep repeating it. That's not what shadow work is. That's called staying in your shadow. It's not the same thing. The work is, how do you complete yourself, right? Without the need of the validation of others. Because yeah, it makes sense that you would be needy in certain areas of your life. It makes sense that you would be scarred in certain areas of your life and feel like you need other people to complete you. That makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. It makes total sense. And finding out the sense that it makes is important. But what's even more important is for you to override it, because it doesn't actually make sense. There's no reason you should be not confident in yourself. You're amazing. You're literally like one of a kind. Like, you're literally so amazing. That's not something I'm just saying. If you made it here to this planet, think about this. If you're watching this video at the time that it's made, you made it through a recession, maybe even a couple of them. You made it through traumatic events. You made it through a pandemic, the first worldwide pandemic we've ever had on this planet. We've had other things, but never a pandemic. Okay, you made it through that. You made it through grief. You made it through loss. And you're here. I'm sorry. You're one of a kind. You're one of a kind. And so is everybody else. But you have to worry about your kind. You have to protect that. The way that you got here is the way that you're going to get there. And you have to trust the formula. Bing! You have to trust the formula. You have to trust yourself. Trust the fact that you got it. You got it, babes. You got it. You already did it. So just keep doing it, but with more confidence. And watch how exponentially quickly and fast your life can elevate once you just let go. Let go of that. Like, shake it out right now. Like, shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it out. I'm serious. I'm serious. Shake it out. Because all of that is not you. It's not you. You are divine. You're creative. You're fun. You're exciting. You're intelligent. You're smart. You're intuitive. You know what's going on. That's you. You're amazing. You're pretty. You're beautiful. You're funny. You're kind. Okay? So just be that today. Just be it. Just be it, babes. All right, that's the message. I hope that you enjoyed this message, and if you did, give me a like, a subscription, subscribe. I'm used to being on TikTok, so follow. You can follow me too, I think. But everything that you need from me is in the description box below. You can book with me, you can do all the things, and I would love to work with you. If you want to follow me on socials, that'll also be below. Yeah, I'm off social for the next however long, but I will be posting videos on here. So if you want to subscribe. And I love you, babes. Keep being confident, keep being beautiful. We need more people like you in the world. We need you here. We need you out here being beautiful and bright. So don't let people dim your shine. Like, come on, let's throw that. Not me throwing the glasses. Let's throw that away. Like, we're done with that. Like, we're done. We're so done. Like, we're done. Like, have you looked in the mirror lately? Like, stop. Give yourself a facial and move on, babes. Okay? Anyways, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.